Hey guys, welcome back. The more you glide along, you may notice the difference in dates, the massive difference in dates. That's because I'm actually done with everything, but it turns out that one of the videos I've recorded actually was missing the voice channel. In other words, I was recording with my mic muted. So we're going to be, even though we have things from the future, you're going to ignore them completely as if they didn't exist. Okay, and we're going to create our low polygon object through the retopologizing workflow. This requires me to use my quad draw tool, and if we take a look here, the reason for this is because, first of all, look at all these edges over here. Like all of them converge into the single vertex, and this creates a huge black spot. Obviously, our player is going to see only the side. It's not a big deal. And yes, in general, this many polygons is not going to break the game. Okay, this is only the 7,300 polygons, and if we flip this, which we'll have to flip. If we do this, we'll get to 1,500 polygons, 1,400, 600 polygons. So, it's not a big deal, but you do want to retopologize. You want to get used to the workflow of retopologizing. Now, before I begin doing this, I'd like to mention the fact that it is possible to just go ahead and duplicate this specially. All right, duplicate special and grab an instance, for example, right, and essentially mirror this across a particular point. And anything you do on this side is going to be mirrored on this other side, and you're going to grab your the same thing is going to be happening to your quad draw. Now, in my case, I'm just going to enable my symmetry because symmetry is always, like I said, saving time. Currently, it's on object X. I don't know if this is going to be what I need. This is exactly what I need. And if I go into quad draw, which is going to be available to me through another mode, through the object mode, quad draw tool. Now I've changed the color of this so that it's easier to see, but notice something. I've selected this object and I went into quad draw tool. I can immediately start doing stuff, right? I can start and just pull this off, for example, right? And you might think, well, this is easy, but why do we get such ridiculous results? The answer is very simple. Wow, I've created some kind of a weird fish tornado type deal. The easiest answer to this is the fact that we don't have anything to conform to. We need a template. And in order to achieve this template, it is best if you just make this live. So this is now, this worm, player worm is now live, allowing me to go back into my quad draw tool, and now I can start placing these, I can start placing these points here, which will eventually turn into polygons. So let's go ahead and do just that. I'm going to start with the middle over here. Obviously, if you ever get lost, like I said, open up the tool settings. You got your keyboard shortcuts, and if you ever get still get lost, open the tool help. There's plenty of other explanations here and other links. Make sure to have your relax here, right? You've got your different operations like border vertices, all that. Extend the edge, for example, is usually what you want, the loop or the border. Obviously, all these options are available to you through the let me just see here, through the control menu, I believe. Yeah, control shift menu, and you get all these things like relax auto lock. You can perhaps extend the edge or extend the loop. Most of the time you want to extend the loop, but let's go ahead and create a polygon, a set of polygons over here. So there's my 1, my 2, and my 3, and I'm going to create a polygon by holding down shift. Now it is possible for me to move this and reposition this to see what I need, right? I can also grab this particular vertex and just move it on its own. Holding down control allows me to put on an edge loop wherever I see fit, or if I hold down the middle mouse button, this will put it on a particular point. So like in the middle of the, basically it's going to split the polygon. Obviously, if I hold down control and shift, I can actually delete stuff, which in this case, for some reason it doesn't want to go, but I can definitely delete things. It just doesn't want to delete them right now. Holding down control shift as well, by the way, allows you to move your whatever you grab with the middle mouse button, so you can move this. In this case, there's nowhere to move it to though, so you can move these, for example, right? Not to mention, like, I mean, this is usually for the whole loop. Oh crap, I went into the sculpting tool. My bad. I went into the sculpting tool by mistake. Let's go back into our quad draw and we can continue where we left off. Okay, so what else do I, oops, I need to select this actually and then go into quad draw. Yeah. So now this into quad draw. Can I look? Select this and go into quad draw, please. Finally. Okay, let's continue where we left off. So just put a couple of more verts over here and a couple more verts over here, a couple more verts over here. Down shift. By the way, it's possible to simply paint across, right? It's also possible to paint with tab, but that's not what you want. Oh crap! No! This was a bad idea. I really don't want to Control Z this now. Okay, let me just go ahead and to speed this up, I'm going to separate these. I'm going to grab these two, delete them, grab this, and then go back into my mode. So create another set of vertices over here, and obviously we can now extend. So holding tab can extend anything that you are essentially putting. So you can extend like basically an edge. Okay. So I'm going to grab this and I'm going to extend this edge on this side, and I can keep extending this for as much as I want. But actually we do have an issue here because I don't have a closed loop, and that presents a problem. What we're going to do is essentially create another set of vertices over here. I'm going to cover it up, and then I'm going to create another set of vertices over here, and I'm going to cover it up like so. And then I'm going to keep going until I have just enough vertices on each side. Notice that it's important to have the same amount of edges from the top and from the bottom, because as you may have imagined, we're going to be moving from left to right, and then we're going to close it up over here. We're going to hook both of these, and we're going to close them in over here, so that there's going to be one overall consistent edge loop and not a poly like a pole in the middle, which is like, look, it's your prerogative, you can have it, but I know, you know, if you're retopologizing, you might as well do it right. So let's see what we've got. We've got one edge loop, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 in the middle. So you got 1, 2, 3. In this case, we've got 3, so we need basically need 2 more, which is going to be 1 over here, right? So that's 4, 5, right, and then 6 in the middle over here, and this is our polygon edges done. Now all I got to do is simply extend, and I can keep extending this indefinitely. Now you want to keep this in small increments, okay, because big increments usually create issues, especially when you got, basically this creates collapsing edges. You don't want that. Usually this creates more problems than it solves. All right, so I'm going to grab this, and I'm going to go ahead and extrude this and grab it again, and extrude it and grab it again. And if you don't see what you're doing, that's completely fine. You just use your relax key. Actually, I think I've collapsed too many edges at this point. Just relax these things right together, and if you don't see what's going on, just go into shading and X-ray active. Oh, sorry, my bad. X-ray, regular X-ray. Right, you don't want X-ray active components. Just turn this off. And now you see what we're doing. Now holding down Shift relaxes the geometry, and this basically averages vertices between each other. And if we go ahead and take a look over here, we do have a little bit of a problem, because essentially I want this vertex to be on the side. I want this vertex to be on the side. Or I want to be on the border edge over here, and I want to have a straight kind of line. So if I go ahead and try to extrude this now again, I should have a much better deformation. Obviously, keep averaging every once in a while. You don't want to be having crooked topologies, because this is what happens. So you just, whatever you do, just grab Shift, right, average these things out. Play around with your particular setup over here. I believe it is possible to make a brush bigger. Soft select. I just created an issue here with my object, so there we go, like so. So if I go back here and I try to relax this, there we go, this is much better. Obviously you can go ahead and select these. There you go, you've got this. Finally looks a little bit better. I'm going to get rid of this obviously because my soft select is not needed currently, and I'm going to extrude this again, and extrude this again, and extrude this again. And now that I have some geometry, I can perhaps add a loop, and I can keep relaxing these, right? And if I'm not happy, I could go and turn my brush, my soft select on, and let's say reduce my soft selection like this, and just relax, I'm not getting the desired results on each side, so this is, for example, an issue for me. I'm going to have to lower my relaxation and maybe do some manual modifications. So in this case, I'd go ahead and just turn off my soft select, and just go into this and just put it on the side where it belongs, right over here. That's where it belongs. And grab this as well, and move it to the corresponding position. Okay, usually with these sharp edges it's kind of difficult to get a retopology, but it is possible to just retopologize each side and then just hook them up together. I'm sorry, I get my tongue twisted. It's been a long day here, especially after I've been having to get a good sleep. But anyway, the point is that you continue doing this until you are happy and satisfied with your current geometry, and eventually you will arrive at your particular the result that you're looking at. All right, now once you're done with this, what you're going to do, right, is you're going to make sure that this is straight. So you're going to go into your edge mode, turn off your X-ray, and we don't need this for now, so I'm going to unlive it and hide it, So here we see our geometry. This is the result. Obviously this is incomplete and low quality, but essentially you would go ahead and grab, let's say, your edge, right? This is your edge loop, and then you would basically go ahead and, what's wrong with my it's a very strange very small, that's a very small what if I just reset the pivot? What if I select this? My pivot for some reason became extremely small. That seems to be another one of them bugs, because I never actually set it up to be that small. Okay, whatever. Just basically select your edges, right? And what you're going to do is you're going to scale them in. Assuming you can grab the scale in button. Why did it bug out like this? Why are you making this so difficult for me, Maya? Just tell me why. Okay, where are you? Display polygons. No, that's my polygon display. Manipulators. Why is it so small? I have never set this to be so small. That is just so ridiculously lame. So 1.5 then. Okay, like I've never actually, up to this point, I've never gone into this menu to set the scale to be so low. Anyway, now that we have this, what you're going to do is essentially scale inward so that it's, notice how it's straightened out. That's what you want. Now that you have a straight edge, what you're going to do is basically grab your object, go into mesh, and then just mirror it across the y-axis in this case. And obviously you're going to merge the border. In other words, there is no difference here between these two, right? Notice that if I go into vertex mode and I move this vertex, it is essentially, okay, now this is a little bit too big. Oops, not the performance settings, not the marketplace, regular preferences, manipulators. I'm going to go put this in 0.1. It's just nice and simple. There we go, nice and simple, 0.1. But yeah, as you can see, there's only one vertex here. So if I go ahead and move this, if I select this, for example, you'll notice that you see two verts. That is because I have them selected on both sides of the mesh. Okay, so in reality, there's only one vert here. If I go ahead and try to select it like this, I will probably select the bottom as well. I selected something at the bottom. Oh no, I haven't, but I'm still at two vertices, so you will notice that that's what you want. And at the end of the day, I'm going to delete this because I'm not going to work with it. At the end of the day, you will arrive to this. Oops. You will arrive to this. And this is where essentially it all ends for you, okay, in terms of retopologizing. In this case, I'll talk about this later. In the next video, we will talk about this more in depth. I believe I continue where this leaves off. So I'll see you guys next time, and I'm sorry about the little bit lower quality of this video, but at least it's just retopology, so it should be fairly self-explanatory on how to perform and how to get it work. All right, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.